Hey, folks. Oh, put some lights on. Hey, yay. 1 minute early. Bet you guys weren't expecting that from me, were you now, eh? Eh? Be honest. And the lights have gone off again. That's better. Okay, so... a few technical issues there. That's the problem you see when I actually try and be on time. But hey, we're here, and we are going to be continuing on with Final Fantasy IX today. Oh, looks like I've got a couple of thank yous to say. First of all, we must do the lip moisturisation, so thank you, Scott. Where is it? There it is. Good needed start to the stream there. And also, looks like we have a new stream boss in the form of a Scott Sweet. Wow. Thanks, Scott, for the support. And also, thank you to Vengeance for subscribing as well. That's really, really kind of you. So, yeah, thanks, guys. Shout out for Venom Bite for being on time for once. I think I'm usually on time, aren't I? I mean, if you define being on time by being 5 to 10 minutes late, then, yeah, you know, I'm always on time. But I'm not sure many people would really go for that definition. Anyway, guys, I'm going to start with some bad news. This is actually going to be the last stream until next Friday. Hey, J-Man, thank you so much. Thanks for the bits. Happy Friday. Want your boss status back. Oh, dear, dear, dear. Yeah, thanks for that, dude. Yeah, so this is going to be the last stream until Friday, which is a week today because it's Friday already. Mainly because I'm having a whole load of work done on the internet next week. So it's going to be up and down quite a bit, unfortunately. And it's just not going to be practical for streaming. But thank you, Scott. Appreciate the host. But we shall be back on Friday, and hopefully we should be good to go there. Right, okay, what are we doing? We're playing Final Fantasy IX by the looks of it. And I'm hoping that hasn't caught anybody by surprise. We're going to be heading over to Terra. But before we do that, this is just a couple, nothing to, get too stressed about. A couple of minor things we need to take care of. I think the coupon nut we picked up, we can hand that in. Oh, yeah, and Alan just mentions that as well in chat. How are you doing, by the way, Dan? And, yeah, welcome. I was going to say a big collective hello to everybody that's already said hello to me in chat. Oh, maybe, Fred, maybe, but I wouldn't get your hopes up too much. It's just going to be... I find it really frustrating when streams are going up and down. So, I'd rather, make sure that everything's working again before we get back to the grind, so to speak. Well, to be honest with you, the internet work I'm having doing isn't really that exciting. So, hopefully, eventually next year, we'll be getting proper fibre to the premises once it's in the area. But right now, I'm still having to put up with copper broadband, which is annoying for you guys as well, because it means I can only stream at 5 megabytes, which isn't really a lot, in all honesty. I mean, it's okay, though, while we're playing Final Fantasy IX and Final Fantasy VII and stuff, but... for Final Fantasy VII Remake, it was perhaps a little bit lower than I would have liked. Okay, right, let's try and catch up then with what you guys are saying here in terms of the game. So before we go to Terra, Alan says, put in the team of Zidane, Dagger, Amaranth, and Aiko, and go and deliver that Kupo nut. Sell any items you have 99 of, except, of course, for Phoenix Pinions. Yep, those cheeky Phoenix Pinions... allow us to have a chance of recovering from a wipe, as we all discovered when I played and defeated Ozma. That should have been a wipe, but we managed to avoid it. Right, so we'll head over to the grotto. I suppose we can fly there, if I can find a forest. There we go. Okay, so we'll go and hand the nut in. And then I think we're good to go. I think. Well, I get 30 megabyte down, Nix, but 5 megabyte up, which is, that's the input. Well, I actually get 7 megabyte up, but I limit the stream to 5 meg because it pushes it if you try and do it right on the limit. That's with just the BT Infinity, it used to be called. It's just the fibre to the cabinet service. But that's the best you can get in my area. There's no Virgin or anything, unfortunately. So just waiting for the full fibre now. Yeah, could do, Dan. I had been thinking about it, but I'm not decided yet. I do actually prefer Twitch. Right, let's just check where I'm going. We're going to the grotto. which I think is over here. I did just find it, but I wasn't paying attention yet. Yeah, one of these days I'll actually learn my way around the Final Fantasy IX map, won't I? Yeah, how are you guys thinking, or what are you thinking about Final Fantasy 16 now that you've had a little bit of time to mull over it, to sort of process the thoughts? I saw some of you guys discussing it in chat a few moments ago, just as I was getting started. This is actually not the grotto. What am I doing? There it is. This is the wrong entrance, really, because we have a little bit of a further run. But if we turn encounters off, it shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, as far as I know, fibre to the premises only is for 13% of the UK at the moment. 1-3. Which is really, like, only a minority still. So, hopefully we're getting it next year. I've already seen some fibre manifolds going up. I know this is the right entrance. So, it should be on its way soon. And everything should be better then. That's the plan anyway. Hello, Mumbin. Let's just turn off the speed there. And in our Cupo nuts. For our wonderful ether. Oh yeah, fibre to the premises on demand is just far too expensive. I did get a quote for it at one point. And it was something like £40,000 to £50,000. Yeah. Not really within my budget, unfortunately. As much as I love you guys, I want to bring you the highest quality streams. Yeah, that was a no-no, really. So, but we are getting native FTTP now in the area because I've seen OpenReach putting up the manifolds, even on my road. It's just a matter of when, more than anything. Yes, liking what you've seen with Final Fantasy 16. Characters look cool, combat looks on point. Yeah, to be honest, you know, I'm always a big proponent of the old turn-based combat systems from Final Fantasy. But I've pretty much come to terms now after FF15 and FF7 Remake that is just not the direction that Square are going in anymore with this franchise. Other JRPGs still do, so I don't think... Some people say, no, that's all in the past now, you don't get that anymore, because you do. But just with the Final Fantasy franchise, I think it's clear Square are not going to want to go in that direction. I've come to terms with that. Combat in FF7 Remake, I actually did enjoy. And from what I've seen of FF16, it does also look fantastic. Much better than it was in FF15. It was mentioned in chat about how there's only one party member, it seems. Yeah, I'm not sure what that's about. We'll have to find out, I guess, over the coming year. I think they said we're going to be getting more information next year. But yeah, I think a lot of people are intrigued by that, as to whether it's going to be doing away with the team-based party mechanics. Who knows? Final Fantasy often does change things up from previous games, so you never know, do you? Mumbin says, vote you throw your Final Fantasy 12 game in the trash. Do you not like Final Fantasy 12, Mumbin? I thought the game was okay on PS2, but I really enjoyed the Zodiac Age, if I'm being honest with you. I thought it improved things quite a bit. You was okay with the combat in 15. Yeah, I hated the combat in 15. I didn't hate it, but I really didn't like it that much. I didn't like... It just felt very clunky, and the camera never seemed to work how I wanted it to. Okay, right, so let's carry on. We're going to move back over to the airship, where we shall just sort out our party here. As per Alan's guidance, of course. Before we move on. Can see where it is on the airship. So on the map. Yay. Yeah, I'm going to put in Dagger, Amaranth, and Ico. We've also got all the money that we need as well. Because we said we needed about 700,000 gil. Is that right? Is it, Alan? And I think we've got just about that. Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 7 Remake, overhyped, overrated, and never should have been made. Well, I mean, they were quite well received, Mumbin, but I understand they're not for everybody. Are you a big fan of the older Final Fantasies, are you? Just not the newer ones? I mean, obviously, Final Fantasy VII, the original, was always going to be better than the remake. Or at least, you know, always going to be subjectively preferred by many fans. But I had a lot of fun with the remake. Let's go ahead and just sort out the party here. Ico. Let me just check I've got this right. Dagger, Amaranth, and Ico, yeah. Probably should have taken the gear off the others, but not to worry. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Steffi. Hey, appreciate that. Thanks for your constant hard work. What's your thoughts on FF16? And will you get a PS5? Yes, I will get a PS5. And Final Fantasy 16. I was just talking about this, actually, I think, Steffi, just before you turned up. Yeah, but, you know, I'm really intrigued by it. The trailer looked really good. There's a couple of things that I think people are wanting to know more about, such as, is it still going to be retaining the team-based mechanics that Final Fantasy is known for? Because it looked very much like it was going a DMC style with just one party member. And I do believe they brought on some talent from DMC 5, if I'm not mistaken, or DMC 4, I think 5. So I think that has got a lot of people wondering about that. But, you know, the actual trailer looks really good. Hello, Jerry Hattrick. Yay, good to have you here. And Elijah, you was not impressed by FF16. Was there anything in particular that you weren't impressed with, or just the overall feel of it, would you say? Okay, do not have Zidane still. Alright, well, should we make our way over now? It's somewhere around here, isn't it? Yeah, if there's one thing I suck at in this game, it's trying to navigate my way around the world map. I don't know whether it's the speed feature that I'm still not used to after all this time playing the remastered version. But I always forget where all the various locations are. Oh yeah, we've got to go to a shop and sell only items that I've got 99 of, though, isn't it? Is that right? Okay, well, maybe we can just go over here then. Go to the shop. Can we still go to the shop over here? Let's find out, shall we? Hello, Anthony. It's £449 here in the UK, Mumbin. Is it, what's that, $800? Is that in America, is it? Oh, that sounds quite a bit more, actually. Nope. This is the one we want to speak to. Right. I haven't actually got 99 of much. I've got 99 dead peppers. Do I really need to sell 99 dead peppers? Because Stilt Skin's not going to care about that, is that why we're selling stuff, isn't it? I should have 99 Phoenix Pinions. Yeah, let's sell a few of these. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you do get scalpers, don't you? For all kinds of new tech like that. For sure. Ethers, I have 96. Let's just check down here. I do want to keep my dead peppers. Probably don't need them all, but... yeah, there's my Phoenix Pinions. Shall I sell some tents as well? Getting a little bit close to cap there. It's alright, guys. I'm trying to go through the item list and read your messages here at the same time. Yeah, no, I've got a pre-order for the PS5, so that was, you know, the standard price. And it has been confirmed. Whether I get it or not, you never know, do you? How supply is going to be. But apparently it's been confirmed that I'll be getting it on release date. Almost got the Stilt Skin trophy yesterday, but missed him in Bran Bal. Ah, that sucks, doesn't it, Nathan? Yeah, I hate trophies where you end up missing something and then have to start the entire game, you know, all over. I'm feeling that I'm going to have to do that for the ATE trophy. Yeah, I think we're good now on stuff that's been sold. I did sell some eye drops. We got like 89. I can sell some more. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that there's a chance we might end up missing the ATE trophy, which is really going to be annoying, because I think there might be one ATE I screwed up on somehow. I just have this like niggle in my mind. I could be wrong. Maybe we'll get it. I hope we do. Because if we do mess that up, if we have messed that up, I should say, then I'm going to have to replay the game right from the very start. The only kind of good thing about that is that if we do have to replay for the ATE trophy, then we can literally just rush through the story, maybe keep the cheat toggles on, just to get the ATEs done at high speed, and not have to worry about side quests or the like. So it shouldn't take too long, and I've already got the Excalibur II trophy, so I don't need to worry about that. Oh, no, I've got the disc version, Steffi. I'm not a big fan of the disc-free consoles, I'll be honest with you. I think they look better because they're more simplistic, and I'm quite a boring person in terms of imagination, and more simplistic designs I do naturally prefer. But yeah, I couldn't have a disc-free version. Or at least I would prefer not to have a disc-free version. What am I doing? Oh yeah, equipping. Right, so the only things we need to equip in terms of abilities to guard against status is Bright Eyes and Loudmouth. So I'll just go ahead and make sure that all our party members do indeed have those two status abilities. Don't need that. Don't need that. Do need that. Where is it? Where the heck is Loudmouth? Am I just being blind here, or is it further up? No, it's not going to be that far. Does he then not have it? I'm really confused. I'm really, really confused by that. You missed one of the ATEs, did you, Wriggle? Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Oh, yeah, the digital edition looks better, yeah, because you haven't got the space for the disc. It just looks more simplistic. But, yeah, I couldn't do without the disc easily. Okay, either I'm being really blind, or we can't put Loudmouth here on Zidane. How weird. Okay, fair enough. Yep, everyone will have ability up, I think. Okay, put that on. Now we've got ability up. I don't really want auto reflect at the moment. There we go, Loudmouth. Oh, I know, Zidane can't have Loudmouth, can he? He doesn't need it because he doesn't cast spells. That makes sense. What was the other thing I said? Loudmouth and Bright Eyes. I don't know if Aiko can have Bright Eyes for the same reason. She doesn't need to be protected against blind, perhaps. I mean, she can technically hit with her staff thing, but... okay. Right, looks like... no, that's fine. Ability up, yeah. Bright Eyes. And yeah, I think we're sorted. I suppose some of the HP ups will be better for Amaranth. He's so low on levels compared to the other party members. Yeah, we need to sort that out, I think. Oh, one thing that we might want to do, actually, is a quick bird killer here. Yeah, I know that going through abilities isn't the most exciting, but unfortunately, you know, it's something we do need to do. Bird killer and I think devil killer, is that right? I'm sure Red will let us know if that's wrong, but I think that would actually help with damage if we go for physical attacks. Take auto float off, and then maybe we can give bird killer and devil killer to Zidane as well. Okay, that's fine. Oh, right, yeah. There are some annoying ATEs, aren't there, for sure? Absolutely. Yeah, thanks, Arboy. Yes, I did have that click, actually. At one point. Microsoft trying to buy Sega? Is that true, is it, Elijah? I know that they brought... what was it? Not Bethesda. It was... I can't remember. Who was it? Was it Ubisoft? Some massive gaming publishing company anyway, and developer. So. Guardian Mog on Ico. Have I got that? Oh, I haven't sorted out equipment, have I? Yeah, we need to sort that out. Okay. Suppose level up as well. Right, yeah. Equipment-wise, I think we're pretty much okay. I mean, we can put Bahamut on Dagger. I mean, we should have learned that, or I can't even remember. We'll have to check. Right. So we've already got the best dagger equipped for Zidane. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, gear for Zidane is pretty much where it needs to be. Hello, Wes. Was it Bethesda, was it, Anthony? Ah, yeah. Yeah, that's quite a big purchase, isn't it? It was a few billion. A lot of money, anyway. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens with their games, especially in terms of, you know, how they're released on other systems and that going forward. If they're going to be owned by Microsoft. Because I don't think that Microsoft brought Bethesda to share with Sony, did they? Ico needs her Heimling weapon. Okay. Yeah, it can do that. Maybe just boost some stats here. I don't think there's any abilities to learn. Okay, let's just boost stats then. Yeah, the tiara's probably best. Oh, wow, Anthony. That's a lot of money. Almost the same amount of money that you have. Nice. Nakai armlet. Yeah, just check there's no other abilities. No. So I'm just trying to keep up with Red's messages as well. Okay. Robe of Lords. And finally, no abilities. Oh, yeah. No, we still got stuff to learn here. The Rebirth Ring for Auto Life. Angel Earrings for MP plus 20%, which is probably quite useful. But let's go down these in order, shall we? Guardian Mod prevents zombie. The one thing that does prevent it. Oh, you want the ribbon on Ico. Okay. We can do that. We do have a ribbon. Oh, we've got 2, look. Ah, and we get to learn Medine. And Dagger's still using Rod. Yeah, that was for the last dungeon, wasn't it? Looks like we've learned all abilities anyway. Let's just go for Tiger Racket. Make sure we've got nothing else to learn. Don't think we have. Yeah, welcome, folks. A few people have come on to join us on the stream. Good to have you here. And we've already got the Garnet equipped. And yeah, we've got stuff to learn still. For Amaranth here. Yeah, he's going to have quite a bit to learn because he is slacking. Yeah, this is the point of no return. We actually end up locking a few places off, don't we? At this point, once we proceed. So yeah, let's go ahead and do a backup save. It's been a while since I've made one, so makes sense. Yeah, no, not seen Serenity for a couple of streams now. I get the feeling he'll be back, Elijah. Yes, checked Amaranth's equipment, Alan. I've given him a weapon so that he can learn ability. Okay. Right, so I think then we are good to go now. Right. This is where we're heading off to, Shimmering Island, just south of our current location. And then I think we just land in the middle of it, yeah. Just check chat, make sure that I haven't missed anything. Hey, congrats, Alan, on finishing FF5. I know you've worked really hard on that one. Nice job. Nice job. Oh, yeah, good point, Dan. Yeah. Yeah, guarding against it, it's got to be a good thing, hasn't it? Yep, you know what I'm like, don't you, Wes? Yeah, I've saved in 2 slots. So the next time I save, I can save in the slot above the 2 I've just saved in. If that makes sense, then we have sort of like 2 backup saves. Maybe. Maybe that makes sense to you. I know what I'm talking about, I think. Okay. Yeah, but you don't always get that, Alan. I think it's only like a 30% chance if you have 99 Phoenix Pinions. Yeah, there's no other way to protect against it. Is that right? You can only remove it, can't you? With items. But can't actually protect it. Protect a party member from getting it. But Guardian Mog will only affect Ico. She's the only one that has that, isn't she? The other characters can't get that. So she's the only one that can actually protect against it in the whole game. Is that right? Keep moving forward means, yep, we're going to continue on with the story. Yeah, so for those that have just joined us, I did mention at the start, the next stream after today is not going to be until next Friday, as my internet's going to be up and down next week. So I just want to make sure that you guys know that in advance. Plus, I can't stream on Monday anyway because I've got a dentist appointment. Slap bang at 2 PM. Which is kind of like the worst time, really. But, you know, during these times, if you get offered an appointment, you take it. Because goodness knows when you'd next get opportunity to if you say no. Oh, I know, Anthony. It's devastating. Noli the goalie. Or Noli the goalie. How you doing? No, we're not at the moment, our boy. Although I have heard that people are, once again, panic buying toilet rolls and stuff. The supermarket shelves are getting empty again. So I feel like deja vu, to be honest with you. Okay, right, so I think this is close to the final point, isn't it, where we collect ATEs. In fact, I've got a bookmark here of ATEs. I'm sure I have. Or have I lost that? That was a while ago. So we haven't had any for a while. I don't want to miss any, even if I did miss any in the past. Mainly because I might not have, so... let me just check. Okay, yeah. Yeah, there's 4 ATEs here. Okay, hopefully we'll get all of them. Hopefully. Let me just make sure on the Final Fantasy wiki that I've got that right. Sorry guys, just checking this because I don't want to miss out on the trophy if I don't need to. Okay, I think we should be good. Yeah, definitely check out Vengeance's stream then, for sure. Right, let's get through some of the dialogue first of all. Okay, thanks Nathan. For Stilt Skin, we need to enter the shop, leave, and then enter again to make him appear. Yeah, it could be. There's actually one more ATE, I think, on disc 4. So, the 79 ATEs required to be viewed in order to get the trophy to trigger. If you've done all of them by the end of this area that we're now in, then you can have 78 out of 79 after the next 4. And then the final one, I believe, is disc 4. No, appreciate it, Nathan. Yeah, I had forgotten that until you mentioned it. Hello, Sentinel Cron. Yeah, welcome. How's it going? Not been here for a while. It's good to have you back. Had a good week? Okay, Red. Okay, do not have Zidane steal. Okay. Yep, we've already set our party up. Yeah, moments of truth time almost. Absolutely, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Terra. No, won't have Dance Steel. Dewey Sim. Hello. How you doing? It's a very tranquil place, this, isn't it? Very tranquil. Best turn off enemy encounter since we're not farming. Don't want people moaning that I'm cheating. A coronet. Should be another chest over here, shouldn't there? Yeah. Okay, a dragon wrist. I don't think it's all that exciting to tell you the truth. But it's there. Yeah, is that what you was talking about, was it, Alan? I've just seen your message, actually. Oh, you've just finished this game, have you? Do you seem... Oh, awesome. Had you played before, had you? Is it a repeat playthrough that you've just finished, or is it your first time through? What do we have here? An elixir. But I think that's all the items for this first set of screens. Oh, congratulations, Sentinel Kron. Hey. And welcome, Brooke, to the Kron family. That's awesome. Yeah, cheers, Alan. Oh, you played it before, but a while ago. Yeah, sometimes it's pretty cool to revisit the classics, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, that's over the other side of the bridge. Is that right? Is that what you're talking about, Alan? Like the spider things. Yeah, there's one here, isn't there? Just check. Yeah, go down here. Okay, won't speak to her just yet. Grab Demon's Vest. Probably should have come down this one after, but not to worry. Okay, I have to go the other side. There we go. Yeah, we're getting there, guys. We're getting there. And that gives us a remedy. Well worth the trek over. But of course, we do want to open every single chest, so it's important. And I don't think there's anything else around here. Actually, no, there is one, isn't there? Yeah, just over here, look. The Mithril Racket. Okay, that's all the items. There's 3 items. There's the Remedy, the Mithril Racket, and the Demon's Vest, was it? Now we can continue on. Yeah, no, that's fantastic, Crom. That's fantastic. Oh, yeah, no, I know who you mean, Dewey Sim. Are you talking about the final boss, are you? And Alan says there's a hidden chest where the music stops. Do not go all the way up. Oh, hello, Dark Swordsman. I'm doing fine, thanks. How are you? How's it going, dude? Are you caught in one of the local lockdown areas, are you? Or are you able to get out and about a bit? Yeah, so far we're okay here, but I know that a few others in chat are not. Okay, halfway. Yeah, I wasn't really paying attention, actually, Alan, there, sorry. So I can see the chest, or I can see a chest, but trying to get it. Is a little bit tricky. Is it here? Or is it over here or something? Oh, hang on. Yeah, we've got it, we got it. There it is. Yeah, that's well hidden, isn't it? At least you can see the chest. A Minerva's plate. Come on, come on, come on, come on. There we go. Okay, right, let's just check equipment. Because we can guard against various... Yeah, thanks, Alan. We can guard against various statuses to help out in a moment. It's not really that good, to be honest with you. What I really want to do is find stuff that can protect. So, for example, protect against earth and lightning. I'll just go to Sedan for a moment. I'm going to stick poison, protect, or antibody. I'm going to keep Master Thief on, though. We're not going to steal with Sedan, are we? So do I really even need it on there? Probably not. Tell you the truth. Okay, we'll take that off. And I just want to see, can we guard against... let me check what it is. Earth and lightning here. Okay, save it for Freya. Will do. Oh, sorry to hear that, Dark Swordsman. Yeah, ulcers are the worst, aren't they? Yeah, and you do tend to get them after a cold and stuff, don't you? Which is annoying. Okay, earth damage. That's exactly what we want there. Don't really care for that. Don't really care for shadow. Ah! Thunder damage. So we've got silk shirt as a possibility. I could actually absorb earth, which would be even better, to tell you the truth. Yeah, let's do that, shall we? Yeah, and we'll just... Unless there's anything thundery down here. Yeah, there is a coral ring. Let's go for that as well. You can't get into Final Fantasy IX, Elijah. Did you play it on the PlayStation 1, did you? Couldn't get into it then, or is it just something that you've, tried more recently? Without any nostalgia or anything. Yeah, no, I can imagine, Dark Swordsman. If I get like a flare-up of ulcers, the thought of streaming, not a nice one. It really isn't. Okay, Alan. Yeah, bear that in mind. Right, so we shouldn't need to be doing anything here. Let's just use our high damage abilities, shall we? Oh, I don't like this. Uh-oh. Yep. Always going to be a problem. Oh, I see, Elijah. Yeah. Yeah, you can't please everybody, I suppose, with every game, can you? Right, let's try that again. Let's just attack. Yeah, see, Dan does have regen as well, which is helpful. Right, this should kill him. I don't think they've got more than 10k health, have they? Yeah, Final Fantasy VII is definitely my favourite. I'd say... Oh, no, they do have a lot of health. I'd say it is my favourite, not only of the PS1 era, but of the Final Fantasy franchise as a whole. So. Okay. Yeah, we don't want to miss out a hidden passage in Bran. Here. Bran Bal. Who should bring into the party, by the way, at this point? I'm pretty sure that Dagger gets kicked out, doesn't she? I'm thinking Freya. Yeah, I like Final Fantasy X as well. No, I've not seen anything too exciting from Tokyo Game Show. There was nothing Final Fantasy 16-ish that I noticed, was there? Or Final Fantasy 7 Remake worthy. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do, Alan, Freya. Although I wasn't expecting anything FF16 related because they already said when it was announced at the Sony event that the next time we'll learn anything more it will be next year. Oh, did they Venom Bite? Yeah, I want to know when we're going to get a new Sonic the Hedgehog game. Not seen or heard anything about one of those for ages now. Since what? Sonic Forces, which wasn't really that good, but Sonic Mania was good. I want to see a sequel to that game from Sega. Yeah, definitely, Kron. I mean, I'll admit, you know, I'm kind of biased because I just loved the game so much when it first came out. I've not played anything like it before. But yeah, for me, it will always remain probably one of my favourite games of all time, if not my favourite. Yes, I should say Venom Bite. That sounds good then because, yeah, I'm a big fan of Xenoblade. They are the only Xeno games I've ever played. But even so, I never played Xenogears or anything, you see. Yeah, you are a big fan of Chrono Trigger, aren't you, Venom Bite? Yeah, I'm not sure why, Elijah, we've not heard of the Legend of Dragoon remastered version potentiality at any point, because it seems to be something we're getting a lot of, doesn't it? With various PS1 games. And at least based on the chats that we have, you know, a lot of people seem to want one. Plus, I've never played that game. Be a nice opportunity to do so if they ever put a remastered version. Or just a re-release of it out of some kind. Yeah, I mean, I could never really get into Breath of the Wild myself, Anthony. I did try. I played it for about 20 hours. But I didn't hate it or anything. I just never really felt the urge to continue on with it after that. Yeah, a few people have said it's fairly different Venom Bite to, you know, some other games of the genre, so I don't know. But yeah, I'd be willing to give it a try. Okay, left side, Alan says. Dan, thanks for the moisturisation. Appreciate that. No, I can't. Oh, yeah, sort of. Ah, okay, Anthony. Okay. Ah, is this what we're talking about, is it? Well, that was really hidden, that was, wasn't it, for the flash hat? Is that what you was talking about, Alan? Oh, thank you, Crunch. Yeah, it's been a whole 30 seconds, so let's get some more on, shall we? Tingly, nice. Yeah, I've been dabbling in a couple of games off stream. More casual games. Well, not casual, but like not traditional AAA games. I've been playing Mario Galaxy, which is, of course, an older game, but it's been remastered. Well, not remastered, but re-released on the Switch. And been having a lot of fun with that. I played it, you know, back on the Wii. But I actually much prefer the controller with the Switch. So I'm enjoying it even more than I did before. And I've also been playing a game called Hades on Steam. Now, if you guys haven't checked that out, I encourage you to do so. It is extremely addictive. Okay, you can get it on Switch, I think. or on PC. I don't think it's out on any other system, so Switch or PC. It's called Hades. It's a lot of fun. Okay, a lot of fun. Very, very addictive. Don't overdose, Anthony says, whatever you do. Yeah, no, I tend to do that quite often, unfortunately. Earrings, let me just... What have I missed? Something? You mean over here to the right, Alan? Is that what you're talking about? And then check the water. Oh, it's on the screen where I am. Okay. Yeah, the emotes are pretty cool, aren't they, Crom? Okay, so go back to where I was. That's over here, yeah? Left side just brings me back here. Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima, I have tried, Kron. I've put about 15 hours in. I'm enjoying it. I haven't played it for about a week or so, if I'm honest with you. Okay, where the people are. But I should return to it at some point. Avengers hasn't appealed to me, to tell you the truth. To be honest, it just looks a bit trashy to me. I'm not interested in it, really. I'm not the biggest fan of the movies and just Avengers in general, so it's not like something that was going to appeal to me anyway. Oh, there we go, angel earrings, thank you. Oh, yay! Nice job, Phantom. Hey, max rank, well done. That's a lot of watching of streams. Thank you, dude. And congrats on reaching the rank. Select group of people have done that now. Very, very small amount of people. Okay. Let's check there's nothing over here. Oh, hang on. Yeah, welcome to the club indeed. Alright, Dan. Yeah, thanks for stopping by. Be cool if you can come back, but if not, have a good day and have a good weekend. Yeah, I don't... hang on, I'm just going to do things the way that I would generally do things. Because we don't want to miss out on stuff effectively. And there's other items we can get that we're just missing out on right now. So we'll start by heading in here. And down here, there's an item we can grab. I don't want to miss things. I'm sure there's an item we can grab down here. Yep, hidden. An elixir. Okay, now we're popping here. Okay, and there's a wing edge. Right. I don't think there's anything else to do in here, is there, guys? I thought there was supposed to be a Moogle in here. How come the Moogle's not in here? I can't see a Moogle. Unless he's hiding somewhere. You guys see a Moogle? Alan says check the vase. This vase? Oh, Lonky says in the ceiling. Yeah, I think he is in the... Hang on, what's this? Oh, sorry, Lonky. Yeah, I was going to check the ceiling, but apparently, no. All I can see is a flower without petals. Well, that's what I thought, you see. How can we possibly... no. Right, this is Moo Rock. Ask about magnets. Okay, we'll do that. Okay, we get a letter to deliver. Okay, good. May as well save before we go shopping in case I screw anything up there. We've got 700,000 gil, which should be more than sufficient. Ah, there's a golden Moogle in the ceiling that improves the breeding rate. Oh, but let me guess. You can't get that, can you, once you've spoken to this Moogle, which means I've probably lost out on it. Oh, I wasn't supposed to save there, but I have got a backup save. That's fine. Oh, you'll get there, Kron. You'll get there. Oh, you can reload, can you, Long? I'll tell you what, I won't do that because I'm not a big fan of golden Moogles. I don't like them. But I'd rather go shopping. 2 Orichalcons. Okay, yeah, we're going to need to spend quite a bit of the gil here now, aren't we? 3 defenders. 4 Hurley Lances. This is all for, like, what do you call it? Synthesis and stuff. Alan shares his list here in chat. 2 Avengers. 2 Bistro Forks. 10 Dragon. Yeah, oh, we did 5 of those, didn't we? But I get 10 anyway. 10 Flash Hats. 4, what was it? Platinum Helms, okay. 6 Minerva Plates. I never know, Alan, whether you're sharing how many I should have maximum or how many I should purchase. I'll go for the latter just to be on the safe side, but yeah, I'm never sure, to be honest. Yeah, very fast, very fast. Oh, you need the Golden Moogle if you want Excalibur III. Trying to make me choke there, Lonky. Right, let's save again. Now that we've spawned Stiltskin. Right, let's go ahead. I think there's a Stiltskin trophy, but I might already have it. Or is that not the end of Stiltskin's little adventure? Yeah, it doesn't say anything else now. Oh no, Anthony, I know. He's always getting me to spend my gil. Oh, 1 more sale later in Alexandria. Okay. Yeah, I might already have that trophy anyway, so I wouldn't be too concerned if it doesn't pop, because we haven't missed Stiltskin. Yep. I'm just checking we haven't missed any items here. Hopefully we haven't. I don't think we have we? We got everything? Oh, the reason you want to buy from him is for a 4th ribbon. Okay. Ah, oh, you guys, man. Now you got to buy all the stuff that Alan says, or you won't get everything by the end. Trust me. That man, he knows what he's talking about. Right, what have we got through here? Okay, this is the inn, and there is a chest in here. Yeah, I think this is like a bunch of scenes by the looks of it before we can actually go back there to grab the item. Okay, all the extra buys is for precautionary synthesis. Okay. Will RPG for food. Yeah, definitely, Alan. Is that what you're starting next, is it, on your YouTube channel? Final Fantasy IX, now that you've finished FF5? Because you pretty much covered the heck out of FF5, haven't you? Like, the go-to series on that game, if somebody wants to beat it 100%. Oh, yes, that's right. You're doing one of those next, aren't you? Probably just to see what happens, isn't it, Anthony? I haven't actually, Elijah. Oh, I can't remember if I platinumed Kingdom Hearts 3. I don't think I did. I have done a walkthrough series on Kingdom Hearts 1, though. We killed all of, like, the endgame bosses and stuff, the optional boss and what have you. But I don't think I did all of the necessary grinding for the Platinum Trophy. Yeah. You'd have to play ignorant just to get in, I think, Cletus. Oh, nice job, Wriggle. How did you find the judges in the end? Was it you who was saying that you was really struggling with the judges, or was that somebody else in chat the other day? I can't remember who it was, but yeah, nice job. Those judges. I actually think the judges in Final Fantasy XII is one of the hardest optional endgame bosses out of any Final Fantasy game. It beats the pants, in my opinion, in terms of difficulty, off the Dark Aeons in Final Fantasy X, or out of Penance. Even Ozma, we got, what, second attempt? First attempt was off stream. Those judges can literally take dozens of attempts, requiring just perfect timing, along with a whole load of luck in how you get your attacks off before they start healing and stuff. Although if you do get the judges perfect, it tends to be a very, very fast fight. But one of the problems with that final trial mode stage is not only that you have to be pretty good to know how to defeat the judges with a good strategy, you have to get onto it from the Amiga battle in a very good shape. Okay, yeah, we'll watch Steiner. Oh, Alexandria's been levelling up. Oh, that's good, Wriggle. That's good. Everyone look at Steiner. Oh, nice job, Starlight. Yeah, it can be a pain, can't it? It is, like I say, in my opinion, one of the hardest fights to get right in Final Fantasy in terms of, like, optional endgame encounters. What is he doing? Hey? Hey? Yeah, rusty. Rusty ankles. Yeah, the judges are definitely more difficult, aren't they, than Yasmat? Which was the ultimate encounter in FF12 before the Zodiac Age. Oh, yeah, yeah. You can definitely see the resemblance there, can't you, Alan? Yep. The heck? Sounds like there's thunder outside. I was going to see if it's raining. Nope. Must be some weird construction thing going on because the sun's out. I don't know if you guys would have heard that, but very noisy. Very rude, whatever it was when I'm trying to stream here. Yes. Yes, absolutely, Elijah. They might have gone a little bit OTT with his health totals. Although, fortunately, in the Zodiac Age, with turbo speed on, it does tend to be quite a bit quicker. I think I did it in about 40 minutes. Or something like that, anyway. Right, there we have it. The elixir. I hate seeing an item in a chest and not being able to get it for a while. I start sweating until I can actually go back and loot for it. Right, okay. I think we need to go back in here. See what's going on down here again. Chat to some of these people. Yeah, at least you get a good progress update because of the way they do the health bars in that game, don't you? You get like a big health bar and then like little health bars, like 50 of them or 49 of them. Which is just a nice way of just describing to, you know, how long you've got left and what have you. Although the annoying thing with Yearsmat is he starts to get a little bit more challenging right towards the end of the fight. And it hasn't happened to me, but I would hate for it to happen. That after like 3 hours or whatever, you end up getting destroyed by him. But, yeah. Nice job, Wriggle. Yeah, the problem with the judges, though, is they just do so much healing. They just spam elixirs like there's no tomorrow. Yeah, what would you guys suggest is the hardest optional endgame encounter across the Final Fantasy franchise? Obviously not including the MMOs. Maybe like Dark Yojimbo or something. Although that can be fairly easy if you have the right setup. Although he tends to be quite annoying because he'll destroy party members completely so that they're not simply killed, that can be brought back to life. Scott Sweet 2 is the boss. Yes. Not yet sure whether he'll be defined as the hardest boss, but who knows. Penance. Yeah, Penance is quite tough. I know I've mentioned it before, but it's remarkable how much tougher Penance is if you actually use the break HP limit ability and have like 35,000 HP as opposed to 9,999. Having the normal maximum HP makes that fight a lot easier because all of your healing items heal to full then. And a lot of Penance's abilities are percentage based. Yeah, Ozma is tough. I did try Ozma off stream before we got our successful attempt the other day. And he did make mincemeat out of me with a meteor followed by a curse right at the start of the battle. I got a game over. No Phoenix summon. Within like 30 seconds, you know, I was dead. But then on our attempt on stream, our first attempt, we killed him, didn't we? Literally because his attack order was different. And we did get a Phoenix off. So it's a heavily RNG based fight, that one. You do need a good setup, of course, but even with a good setup, it can all be over if you have some bad luck. The brothers in Final Fantasy VIII. Oh, poor Anthony. Floaty's your friend, Anthony. I think Floaty's your friend in that fight. Oh, yes, Scott. A force to be reckoned with. Yeah, Dark Bahamut isn't the easiest in the world, is it? Also, Amiga weapon in Final Fantasy VIII. Not too bad. Yeah, no, that was very good, Alan. Though I will also concede to people that say Ico is useless that it was a very niche role that Ico played to not be useless. And we were very fortunate that her niche role actually amounted to something helpful. But yeah, I mean, the good thing about, or the interesting thing about that Phoenix is that it didn't actually happen for about 3 seconds after we got a game over. Or, you know, after everybody died. So it just caught us out of the blue. I'd almost reset the PlayStation ready to reload. And then it just popped into the screen. Like, hello, I'm here. Yeah, that's right. Earthquake or something, wasn't it? Yeah, you can. Although, Amiga Weapon does have some nasty one-shotting abilities as well, doesn't it? Are you a fan of Final Fantasy X, Alan? Yeah, thanks, Kron. Yeah, no, that was definitely a fun fight. Yeah, definitely one of the more entertaining fights I've had recently, I think. Yeah, I know what you mean against Ozma. Oh, yeah, Terra Break and Light. But he also does a meteor attack as well, doesn't he, Alan? Which is not the most pleasant ability. Something like that, isn't it? He has an ability that can reduce the party's entire HP to 1. And he tends to follow that up with Meteor or something, if I remember. In order to, you know, force a game over. Okay, right. It's potentially ATE time here. Place to call home. Right, we need to make sure we watch all 4 ATEs before we move on from this area. Hello, Destrokers. How you doing? Been having a good week? Yeah, so there's potentially 5 more ATEs we need for the trophy. But that's dependent on us not having missed one, which I have a horrible feeling we did. Ah, fair enough, Wriggle. It's been so long since I played Final Fantasy X-2 through to Endgame. I think the last time was on PS2. That I honestly just can't remember those fights that much. Oh, no, Destra. I understand, mate. I know the feeling. Especially if you've not had to do it for a while. You sort of get yourself into a rut of enjoying not having to do it, don't you? And then it's time to start up again and... ugh. Oh, yes. Yes, no, you're right, Alan. You have to have max HP to survive it, don't you? You have to have max HP. Oh, no, Nathan. Oh, no. Oh, you need vacations? Oh, yes. Oh, hopefully that won't... I didn't actually mean to do that, but that shouldn't interfere with anything. No. Right, I've got the ATE page up here. So the next one should pop up outside here. Yep. Where the heart is. That's good. So that's what we wanted to see. Oh, can you, Wriggle? Yes. Yeah, I have played about with the Creature Creator. It seems like a fun way of OPing your party very early on, actually. Yeah, it's quite a substantial bit of extra content, isn't it? Yeah, 10, 2 and 15. I'm not the biggest fans of those either, Kron. What do you think of Final Fantasy 13? That can sometimes be a divisive entry amongst fans. Oh, okay, Alan. Yeah, you're definitely more into the older Final Fantasies, aren't you? Which is understandable. Yeah, you can. Yeah, because I guess that Creature Creator, it just wasn't intended, was it, Wriggle, when the game was made? So, I mean, it's optional. People don't have to use it, but it is a fun little feature. Although it does take some work to max out, doesn't it? But yeah, I usually get a few hours into... I keep, like, wanting to play Final Fantasy X-2 just because it's one of the ones that I just haven't played for so long. But I usually end up giving up after a few hours. Some of it just becomes a little bit unbearable for me. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Final Fantasy X-2 was intended to appeal more to ladies. That's what Square said. To try and bring more women into the Final Fantasy franchise. But, I mean, if that was the intention, it sort of came off a little bit patronising. I'd imagine. It just ended up such a cheesy, corny game. It really did. Yeah, Final Fantasy 13 was heavily criticised for being linear. I actually did enjoy the first sequel, 13-2, even though the characters were a bit annoying. I thought the gameplay was a lot of fun. Yeah, if you haven't played it, Cron, you should do. It's actually... if you don't go in with tremendous expectations... And if you can put up with the linear pathing in that game for at least the first 2/3, I would say, then you will actually, if you can manage to get around that, you will actually have a lot of fun with it, I think. Yeah, no, I'm with you, RBOI. 13-3, Lightning Returns. I wasn't a big fan of the time mechanics in that game. I know I've said it before, but, you know, in a Final Fantasy game, I'm one of those that likes to play slowly. I know I did the Excalibur II trophy for this, and then you kind of have to rush through for that. But that's because I want the platinum. In terms of my actual preferred play style, I've got nothing against people that speedrun. In fact, you know, from time to time, I watch some of the videos. I know people put out on YouTube, and I'm fascinated, you know, how they do it and what have you. But in terms of my own personal playing of a game, I do like to try and take my time a bit, make sure that I'm exploring everywhere, collecting everything. And I don't like to be put under time constraints or pressures while I'm doing that. And yeah, because of that, Lightning Returns just wasn't really my cup of tea. I just want to make sure that we haven't missed out on any ATEs yet. This is the came into this world, I wasn't paying attention, ATE, isn't it? Which means we still have one more. Is it in here? Yep, we got it. Perfect. Right, this is the final one for this area. Yeah, I mean, even though it's not perfect, I am kind of surprised that the Final Fantasy 13 franchise has never been brought to PS4. Not even necessarily as a full remaster, but just as a release. I'm sure you can probably play it on PlayStation now. But it's never received a proper port over to PS4, has it? Wes says, does UK have Texas Toast or an equivalent? I've never heard of Texas Toast, Cletus. So if we do have it, I'd imagine it's probably called by a different name. Okay, now pick up Queen VV and Amaranth. Okay. I wouldn't mind saving again. Yeah. Oh, you beat it, but you just don't remember it. Yeah, that's usually not a good sign as to the enjoyment factor, is it, Nathan? If you don't remember that much about it, but have probably completed it. Hello, Alex. How you doing? Yeah, good to have you here. Yeah, thanks for stopping by. Texas toast is thick. Bread is sliced into 1-inch thick slices. Oh, okay. So if I just get a loaf of bread that's not pre-cut and I just slice it 1-inch thick, then that's Texas toast, is it, Cletus? Because sure, we can do that in the UK. If that's what you mean, if that's what it is. I don't know if you necessarily buy bread that's cut into 1-inch slices. But you could certainly do that yourself if you just buy unsliced loaves. Oh, yeah, no, I understand, Crom. Yeah. Yeah, well, the thing is, Final Fantasy 13 was brought to the Xbox 360, which is the same generation as PS3, but Xbox One has most Xbox 360 games backwards compatible, which is why I think the Final Fantasy 13 series can be played on Xbox One, but PS4 doesn't really have backwards compatibility. So there hasn't actually been an actual port to next gen, or to current gen, I should say. But maybe there will be. Maybe we'll get to see something on PS5 and the Xbox series. I don't know. Oh, well, that's good of you, Alex. Yay, thanks, Dan. Right, so we've got Aiko and Queena. What was it you were saying, Alan? Vivi and Amaranth, and then equip everybody. Okay. I don't actually know where they're hanging out. I can't remember, so we'll just go and check. Yeah, I mean, that's what I suspect anyway, David. It seems to be the case that that's, you know, what it is to me. Vivi and Amaranth, isn't it? No, it's not. I believe it's playable via the PlayStation Now service, which is effectively a streaming service. But it's not actually available natively on PS4. But when you do it with PlayStation Now, you're literally just streaming off one of Sony's PS3s somewhere that they've, you know, put up for you in the cloud. Okay, Viva's on the right. Thanks, Alan. Yeah, nothing's been announced, Sentinel. Nothing's been announced. Although, they might be working on it. You know, for many, many years, Square never even talked about Final Fantasy VIII. It was weird. Was it last year that they did the remaster, or the year before last year, wasn't it? Final Fantasy VIII had its anniversary last year, 20th anniversary since its release, and everyone was expecting them to do something for the game. The anniversary came and went. I think it was in February. Nothing, not a peep. And then I think it was June or July they announced the remaster. Out of the blue, just like that. No one was expecting it by that point. They announced this remaster, and it was out by September. So yeah, you know, when it comes to Square, you can hear absolutely nothing of them, like they've completely forgotten that one of their old games even exists. And then, pow, they'll announce they're doing a remaster, and it will be with you in a few months. Out of nowhere. So... yeah, no, you're right, Alex. It is. In terms of PS consoles, yeah. I mean, you can get it on PC. You can get it on Xbox. But it was never ported to the Xbox One or the PS4. Yeah, I was going to say PS5. Obviously, it's not been ported there yet. Yeah, last year. Cheers, Dan. Right, so we've got a bit of a party going there. I'm just going to assume that everybody... no. Vivi does need a little bit of tinkering here. I have a black robe. Just checking there's no abilities. There is. Protect ring, okay. Oh, no, Scott. Oh, sorry about that. You'd have to go and get something. Yeah, we're sorted. Yeah, I'd imagine, David, you'll be able to. Just none of us know when as of yet. Yeah, I did. You're right, Wriggle. It wasn't anything Square announced, but there was some rumour, wasn't there, that somebody picked something up out of the trailer that indicate there was some credits or something, new credits for voices that led people to believe there might have been voice acting. Let's be honest, in hindsight, that was never going to happen, was it? It was never going to happen. But yeah, it was an interesting little rumour that went around for a bit. Yeah, Queen is using fork because you had to use a weak-ass fork for a previous dungeon, but I forgot to change it, so thanks, Dan. I've played a game called Bloodborne, which is similar to the Dark Souls type of games, and I won't deny I did have some fun with it, but ultimately, it wasn't for me. It's not my type of game, so I'm not really too fussed about the Demon Souls stuff. Yeah, that's right, Venom Bite. Yeah, it just got people a little bit... I mean, let's be honest. If they'd have brought voice acting out in Final Fantasy VIII, that would have been kind of weird, wouldn't it, in a PS1 game? PS1 Final Fantasy game. Yeah, Ipsen's Castle. You're right, Dan. Oh, is that the case, is it, Nathan? I'm not hugely familiar with the Metal Gear franchise, to tell you the truth. My problem is, after I first played Final Fantasy VII, back in the 90s, the late 90s, I was converted to JRPGs, well, in particular to the Final Fantasy franchise, and I just wanted to play more Final Fantasy, and I ended up missing out on a lot of the other franchises that you guys have come to love, such as Metal Gear and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, no, we should have listened to you, Venom Bite. Yes, I got all 4 ATEs. Did I just save as well? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I was thinking about that the other day, Elijah. I saw that a lot of Xbox Ones have sold out. Yeah, and you can bet your bottom dollar, can't you, that come Christmas, a lot of kids are going to be opening their hoped for Xbox Series X or Xbox Series S or whatever. And Mum and Dad will be like, here it is. And they'll be like, ah, crap. It's the old one. The one that nobody wants anymore. Yeah, potentially just one more Venom Bite. Oh, that's fantastic, BG. Fantastic. I don't know where you guys think this stuff up from. I really don't. Yeah, I'd imagine it has different names in different places, doesn't it, Vengeance? What's that, Alan? What are we talking about? You're talking about the bit in the middle, aren't you? Is that where we need to go now? I think I've come the wrong way, haven't I? Or doesn't it matter? No, it doesn't matter. Yeah, over here, yeah? Up here. That's where we need to go, isn't it? Yeah. No, I agree, Venom, but it all started after the original Xbox with the Xbox 360. Microsoft insisted that they couldn't name their new console. They couldn't name the Xbox 360 as Xbox 2. That's what everybody was calling it. I even remember, before it had an official name, everybody was just referring to it as the Xbox 2. Microsoft were like, nah. Sony coming out with the PS3, which is the same generation. The original Xbox was the same generation as PS2. And they just felt that having the Xbox sequel called Xbox 2 made it sound like it was a generation behind the PS3. And so then they reinvented the naming convention of their console. And from that point on, which is kind of funny because the one after was then called Xbox One. If Xbox 2 sounded like a generation behind PS3, then Xbox One certainly doesn't sound, the same generation as PS4. But hey, it's Microsoft logic. And I've got an Xbox, I'm not criticising the console, but yeah, the naming convention is a little bit screwy. Yeah. Yeah, an Xbox Series X, not really a big fan of that. But, I just can't remember if I saved. We've got quite a few bosses coming up now, haven't we? Yeah, we're going through the green area. Alan. Yeah, I think we're going to save that for the next stream, though. Because it is quite an involved section, which I don't want to kick off now. No, we will. We will. It's a little bit too early to finish up, so... What the heck? Sometimes you got to live a little, haven't you? Let's go for it. Oh, the next God of War game has been announced. Yeah, I was just thinking, Scott, seeing as how I can't stream till Friday, let's not finish off just yet. Yeah, I've still skinned. Done all that, damn. Done all that. Okay, Alan, they're not bosses. Fair enough. Oh, is that right? Is it, Elijah? Yeah, I have got my pre-order in for PS5. So hopefully if you guys are able to get one or want to get one, then that's a good thing to note that there's more going up later. Okay, remember for all of Pandemonium, you'll want Zidane, Daggett, Steiner, and Vivi. I'll tell you what, I really enjoyed the last God of War game from 2018, which I never expected to, but I got the Platinum Trophy, which is really unusual for me to get a Platinum Trophy for that type of genre. It is probably the last non-JRPG game that's really hooked me in, that I did not want to end. Even Ghost of Tsushima, which I have really been enjoying, don't get me wrong, but not to the same level as God of War. That was very, very special. Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it, Vengeance? Things just get sold out so quickly. The Xbox was sold out as well, wasn't it? Pretty much immediately. Yeah, I might have to have a recap of it and play it through again. The thing is, there's a whole load of new updates and stuff for it that I haven't really checked out, so... be a good excuse to go back and play it again before the next one. Okay, Alan. Right, there is actually an ATE available here, which I do not want to screw up. I need to wait until we reach a large lift shaft with a set of controls. Hopefully we'll be able to save before it, so if I do mess it up. Oh, nice, Elijah. Okay, Alan. Oh, yeah. Actually, you know, Wriggle, my reaction was the same as yours, but then I thought about it. I think they're like £200 in the UK. That is actually kind of expensive. But then I thought, how much is a terabyte NVMe PCI Express 4? Which is what I'm sure those expansion cards have to be. Let me just have a look on Amazon. 1 terabyte NVMe PCI Express 4.0. An unbranded one, or a brand I've never heard of, Sabrent, are doing 1 terabyte NVMe PCI Express 4.0s for £169. a branded one. Let's try and find... Oh, does Samsung not do 4.0? Well, Samsung do a 3.0 one for £176. Yeah, they are expensive. They are expensive. And they are more expensive than just purchasing an NVMe drive. Even a PCI Express 4 one. But not absolutely tremendously more expensive. What I'm not a big fan of is if you can only use proprietary storage for Xbox Series games, which from what I understand is the case. If you want to use a standard 3.0 or 3.1 USB external storage device, then you can only install Xbox One and 360 and Xbox games on there. You cannot install games for the Xbox Series X. So in other words, if you want to be able to install your new games and your old games, you have to get the proprietary storage, which is kind of expensive. No, we'll be able to trigger the ATE, I think, Nathan, regardless, at the elevator. And then after that, we should get the trophy if we haven't missed anything. One of the things I'm a big fan of, actually, with Xbox is Game Pass. I do think, and I'm, you know, not trying to advertise Microsoft or anything like that, I do actually think it's decent value. And I do wish that Sony would incorporate something similar for PlayStation. Because I think it's actually a very big deal. And PlayStation now is just... It just doesn't even compare to Xbox Game Pass. And the fact that Xbox Game Pass has just tremendous value, even if you don't own an Xbox, you just have a PC. I think that Microsoft have been very, very clever, because they've not traditionally been able to compete with Sony, realistically, in many ways. So the fact that they're doing something like that, and I know they've been doing Game Pass now for probably a couple of years, I'd imagine. But I think they're really pushing, and I think that, you know, Sony are going to have to pay attention and not just take for granted the fact that they always seem to sell more consoles, because I'm interested to see how the sales go for the Xbox and PS5. Yeah. Yeah, the thing is, yeah, they have brought Bethesda, haven't they? We were talking about that earlier. The thing is, even though... Is it Xbox that has brought Bethesda, or is it Microsoft? Because I think it's Microsoft, isn't it? And that's the thing. Microsoft are going all in to boost Xbox, aren't they? But it is Microsoft and their pockets that are doing it. It's not Xbox, if that makes sense. So it'd be interesting to see just how much it does boost the Xbox brand. But yeah, Game Pass, I think, is a definite advantage that Xbox has over PlayStation. And I say that as a, you know, more of a PlayStation fan. Something I've noticed that Sony are doing, perhaps a little bit more than Microsoft, although I'm sure Microsoft do this as well, is Sony are really trying to snap up more of the exclusives, aren't they? Maybe that's why Microsoft have purchased Bethesda. They want to guarantee that they're going to be getting some exclusives as well. Okay, you have to mess it up 2 or 3 times to trigger it, do you? Oh, okay, Alan. I'll have to check that out. Yeah. Yeah, one thing I'm not a big fan of, I've got an Xbox One X and a PS4 Pro. One thing I'm not a big fan of with the Xbox is that it seems to crash a lot more than my PlayStation does. In fact, I hardly ever get my PS4 hardly ever crashes, you know. All the games I play on it just run as they're supposed to. But a lot of the time I'm restarting the Xbox because of various crashes and stuff. You know, when they say that Xbox is pretty much a PC in a box, I can kind of understand that because it bleeding well crashes as much as a PC crashes as well. Really annoying. I'm playing a game at the moment on Xbox called Undermine. Very, very fun. It's a lot of fun. If you guys have access to Xbox or whatever, it's on Game Pass. I'd recommend you check it out. But I did quite a lengthy gaming session the other day, and then the Xbox crashed, and I lost all my progress. So I've not had the willpower to go back to that game since. Scott says one thing I'm not a fan of is Xbox. Oh. Oh, okay, Venom Bite. Yeah, oh yeah, I'm sure it does, doesn't it, from time to time? I'm sure it does crash. I've not had any crashes with the FF7 remake. I did have a few of the bugs that other people had noted, like with textures and stuff, though. Well, I mean, I've got quite slow internet where I live, Arboyne, so downloadings are never fun. Never a fun experience for me, regardless of which system I'm using. Oh, okay, Alan. Yeah, to be honest, Venom Bite, I don't think we're going to get any announcements before the exclusivity ends. And let me explain why I think that is. I think one of the whole points of exclusivity, from a console point of view, is that that console wants you to buy that console in order to play the game. So when Sony and Square made their deal to have a year of exclusivity, it was probably very much a part of that deal that Square were not allowed to talk about other console or system releases until the end of the exclusivity. Because, let's say, for example, that Square announced the Xbox release of FF7 Remake a month before exclusivity ends, then a lot of people that were maybe going to buy the PS4 so they could play FF7 for that last month now might just hold off for the Microsoft console. So I suspect we won't actually get any news about it until after then. Oh, Scott, we're making him ill look talking about Xbox. Xbox. Actually, you probably don't want to say that too fast, too quickly. Ah, I see, Alan. Yeah, I remember when we did Final Fantasy VIII Remaster. I think we played the heck out of it, didn't we? Got everything covered. It was a lot of fun, though. Yeah, I do tend to find more crashes with that console wriggle myself. Now, trust me, you guys, even you guys that, you know, really love PlayStation, and I'm one of you, we gotta kind of egg the Xbox on as well, because, you know, the Switch, it's not really in the same sort of category of console. It does its own thing. It's a great system, but it's not the same. And, you know, we need competition, guys. We need competition if we want to be getting good value here, so don't wish death amongst the Xbox, trust me, because Sony will have you in their grasp then. They won't need to care too much about the quality of the stuff they give you, because you've got no choice at that point. And yeah, it does. It has its good stuff. Like I said, you know, the Game Pass is really leagues ahead of anything that Sony have got. Yeah, no, a lot of people I've heard, Anthony, have said that TGS has been a bit of a disappointment. I've not really paid attention to it, but Yes, they have, haven't they, Venom Bite? You know, it was actually for you guys as well that pre-ordered PlayStation, although it's not been confirmed, so take this with a grain of salt. There is, I don't want to say rumour, it is more than rumour. People have claimed to have sources for this. That the PlayStation 5 has actually been reduced in price before the price was announced based on Xbox's pricing strategy. You're getting the same console, PS5. They haven't changed the console, but they have priced it lower. So, you know, just goes to show that competition is what we need as consumers. And what the heck is going on to that dude? Yeah, what was I saying about only really having technical effects with technical issues with Xbox? I take it back. Garland. Oh, it's okay. It's just been hidden by the steps. He looked like he was glitching out a bit then. Yeah. I mean, they've been a little bit sly with the Xbox Series S. That is cheap. It is very cheap, but come on. Who's going to want to put up with a 500GB storage space on a next-generation console? Especially a digital console where you can't actually store anything from disk. You have to install it onto the console. Yeah, that's probably why their proprietary external storage device is a little bit pricey. Because they're going to need to claw some money back. And a lot of people with the Xbox Series S that purchased that to save money because it was cheap are going to end up wanting to buy that expensive storage device. Yeah, I can't encourage that, Anthony. But hopefully, you know, you managed to get one. By legitimate means, of course. Yeah, I saw that, Alex, actually. In all fairness to both Sony and to Microsoft, they've always had this facade of being very nice to each other, haven't they, on social media? And then everybody loves them, don't they? Xbox will say something nice about PlayStation and everyone will be like, Xbox is so cool. They're so nice to Sony and to PlayStation players. And then Sony will say something like, big congratulations to Xbox on their launch. What a fantastic console. And everyone's like, Sony's so cool, embracing the competition. You pre-ordered the digital PS5 and Xbox, Anthony. Awesome. Oh, this is one of my favourite themes, actually. From Final Fantasy IX. Yeah, 500 gig. It's not a huge amount for a digital version, a digital console. Although in saying that, I'm not the biggest fan of the PS5 only having 800 gigabytes of storage. I mean, come on, Sony. You could have got a terabyte there. I mean, I really think for next generation, they should have been working on a terabyte as an absolute minimum across the board. But I suppose, you know, what do I know? When it comes to pricing strategies and stuff, they've just got to be ruthless in every respect. And that is going to mean, I guess, cutbacks even in areas such as storage and stuff, especially with next generation NVMe technology, which is not cheap at the best of days. Yeah, as far as I know, Scott, the disc-based PS5 is only 800 terabytes. Okay, an item where Zidane was sitting. Okay. Ba-ba-bum-bum-bum. I'm not sure, actually, Wes. Hopefully it won't be too difficult. I'm not a big fan of external drives for consoles myself. But in saying that, the external expansion for the Xbox, it is expensive. Does look like just a small thumb drive, which I'm sure will be hidden out of the way. But yeah, if I'm upgrading storage, I do prefer to upgrade the internal storage. So I've got my PS4 Pro here. First thing I did was get the 500GB mechanical hard drive out and stick a 2TB solid state drive in there. I'm not 100% sure, actually, Scott. I cannot remember. I was thinking it was, but now you've asked the question, my mind's sort of not wanting to answer. Okay, thievery all the way. Yeah, thievery is our friend, isn't it, Alan? I mean, we've spent so much time building it up. May as well make the most of it. Oh, but that'd be helpful, Vengeance. That'd be a good feature, actually. Oh, the digital is the same, is it, Anthony? You just checked, have you? I see. Thievery. I don't actually, Cletus. That would have been a good idea. But no, unfortunately, I didn't do that. Wow. Did not expect him to survive that. Yeah, it is a little low, isn't it, Crom? Yeah, like I said, I think a terabyte should have been minimum, really. I would have liked more, you know, in this day and age. Games are big now. Especially for the digital consoles. But, I mean, even the disc-based consoles, you know, for most games, even when you play from a disc on current consoles, you generally have to install the same amount of files with the same amount of storage being required as if you just purchased the digital version. How much health does this guy have? Oh, I think he's not got this much, but we have to not kill him in order for the other party members to make their way. Yeah. Yeah, cheers, Alan. Yeah, that's true, Vengeance. Yeah. Is it an NVMe drive, is it? I think it's NVMe. I know that's what Xbox is. Xbox is NVMe PCI Express 4.0. I think Sony are being a little bit more quiet on the actual technology, but it should see similar results, shouldn't it? Yeah, thanks guys. See a few people have followed as they've been watching the stream today. It's very kind of you. Good to have you here. Not very mega expensive. Well, in all fairness, the prices of NVMe drives are coming down. I do love NVMe drives. I've got a couple in my PC. I mean, they're only as big as a stick of chewing gum. In fact, they look exactly the same size as a stick of chewing gum across all dimensions. And they're just so hidden out of the way, and they're so fast. Yeah, Twister wasn't very good before, was it? Not at all. Still, Frog Drop's where it's at for me. It's just too good. Oh yeah, that's good, Cletus. Yeah, I've got a Dell laptop that has 512 gigabytes of NVMe storage. Look at that, 9,000 points of damage. Twister? Nah. Yeah, but it only hits once, doesn't it, Alan? So I might as well just stick to Frog Drop. Oh yeah, I do love Queener. I know I've said it before, but Queener had the potentiality to be another Kate Sith style character. You know, a character that just wants to make you put your head through the wall. But actually, Queener is a comical character that's done well in Final Fantasy. No, I did not mean to defend. Oh, well. Yeah. Yeah, Queen is very useful. Do love a bit of the old blue magic, Frog Drop, White Wind, all of that good stuff. Yeah. Queen's vocabulary is very, very entertaining. I don't know, Alan. I would have guessed 100. Yes. Yes, they are Venom Bite. It was a shame, though, in Final Fantasy VII Remake, there was only 4 enemy skills. H.C. Bailey? Yeah, I know who H.C. Bailey is. Perhaps not so much anymore, but used to be quite prominent, didn't he, in the Final Fantasy walkthrough scene? For sure. Right, because we're guarding against Earth Element, we should be pretty much sorted against this fight. Yeah, definitely, Alan. Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree, Kron. Oh, Kate Sith. I wonder how it's how Kate Sith's going to be implemented in the remake. Going to be a lot of bias coming into that game with Kate Sith. Or bias towards the character, however good he's going to be, I think. Yes, yes, that is true, Venom Bite. That is true. The thing is, the character of Kate Sith as well is just confusing. It really is. Like, is he conscious? Is he unconscious? He's supposed to be remote controlled by Reeve, and yet he does so many things that makes you think he's got his own personality. Oh yeah, I forgot about Bahamut. I wanted to use Zidane dying while we had the option. Okay, let's defend. No, no, I understand. Mega Flare. Yeah, this is the first time we've got to see Bahamut in action, isn't it, in FF9? Yeah, historically, traditionally I should say, I don't really use summons in this game. They do look awesome though. Yeah, it suffers from what I call Final Fantasy's physical attack problem. And that is that physical attacks in the older Final Fantasy games tend to be just as effective as summons or as magical attacks, but are actually a lot faster, so you're just always better off using physical-based attacks. So they're fun to see once or twice, but then you just go to whacking with the sword again, don't you? Yeah, I think we've got a few of the garnets, but not that many. Okay, Alan. We'll make sure to do that. Yeah, Mega Flare's a lot of fun, isn't it? And it's one of those Final Fantasy traditions as well. You got to see it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, good point, Alan. Got to go all the way back for that, haven't we? Yeah, do we have to go right or left? I get confused. I don't want to continue on with the story. I think it's right, isn't it, where all the other party members are coming from. Is this where the actual save point comes? Oh, yeah, see you later, J-Man. Hey, thanks so much for joining us today. Yeah, have a great week yourself. Goodbye, mate. Okay, where's the... Flippy Moogle? Let's turn encounters off for now. Yeah, I know. I just don't want to go the wrong way, you see. So do I want to go right or do I want to go left? Bum, 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 bum. Oh, cheers, Alan. Yep, perfect. Right, this is where we have to form a party again, is it? Yeah, absolutely, Dan. Definitely a good moment there. With one of my favourite parts of the score as well. Yeah, Dagger, Steiner and Vivi. And that's going to be for the area, isn't it? Yeah. No, I understand, Kron. I did enjoy the game very much. And I did play through it on hard mode and got the Platinum Trophy and all of that. But yeah, I'm happy to take a break from it now until we get some further news. Maybe some DLC, some patch updates with some extra content. Or maybe a re-release on another system next year. But I'm in no rush to play through it again right this second, no. Daggett, Steiner and Vivi, there we go. Okay, so we'll save in a moment. Let's go and grab the item. Holy Mitre. You played through it 4 times, have you, Venom Bite? Wow. Well, that's awesome as well. No Magnet. Okay, interesting. Well, let's go ahead and save then, shall we? Although, technically, could you say I've played through it 3 times? Because we did the normal mode playthrough, the hard mode playthrough, and we did the playthrough to make sure we got all the dresses as well, didn't we? Yeah, I do like the combat as well, which I didn't expect. Well, I don't want to say I didn't expect to like it, but I was concerned because I didn't like it in FF15 that much. But yeah, they'd improved upon it a lot, and hopefully, as we go on to FF7 Remake Part 2 to Final Fantasy 16, it's just going to continue just being a fun romp, like with FF7 Remake. Oh, you still haven't played FF7R, have you, Scott? Oh, I didn't expect that. I thought you had. Yeah, I'm sure you'll get to it at some point, won't you? But, yes, yeah, not too bad, Alan. Okay then, guys. Well, that seems to be the perfect place to end today's stream. So, I shall be back again with you, if you join us, that is, on Friday next week. Yeah, we'll do, Alan. We'll do. Yeah, so much to do in Final Fantasy X, isn't there, Scott? Yeah, that can keep you occupied for a while. Yeah, no, thank you, Venombite. And Dan and Alan and Scott and Kron and everybody else that's joined us. Venombite, Vengeance, Elijah. Oh, I don't want to start saying J-Man, of course. I don't want to start saying goodbye to everybody individually because I will miss people and then they feel left out. So I'm just going to leave it there. Yeah, have a great weekend, guys. Have a great week as well. Hopefully, my internet should be back up and running again on Friday. Yeah, I'm having work done next week, as I mentioned. So you never know how that's going to go, do you? You could end up completely knocking it out. But we'll see. Right now, plans are for Friday. Yeah, and yourself, Alex. Thank you. Yeah, it's been fun today. And we made some good progress as well. We're so close to the end of this game, but still quite a bit of work to do to get the platinum, I think. Yeah, take care, everyone. I'm signing out now. Goodbye. See you soon.